All right, folks, Mark here again, cooking books and bringing information. Now, if I seem a little drowsy, a little tired, I just drank some NyQuil. So I'm trying to shake the symptoms of this flu that I had for the last two or 3 days. So I'm not 100%, I'm about 90%, 95% back. So, part of my, I might have low energy. If my energy seems a little low, that's the reasoning. But anywho, so I've been researching and studying. I've been looking into cybernetics, psycho-cybernetics, and paradigmatic shifting, and psycho-cybernetics. Right. And the reason why I've been researching this is because all of us, without exception, are operating or on a software. And I'll say that again. Your physical body is the hardware, and your subconscious paradigm is your software. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. Just like you have a desktop, everything that you can touch is the hardware, and then the desktop have a software, and the software is the information that the programmer designed for the computer to operate, function. It's essentially the instructions for the computer. So a software is nothing more, nothing less. In very simple terms, the software is the instructions for the operation and functionality of your computer. That's what software means. That's what software is. Very lay term, lay definition. Anyone can understand that. And very important, the computer cannot deviate from the algorithms that is within that software. Algorithms are a fancy word for formula. So right, get that out the way. So now I say that to segue into this. All of us, without exception, we operate on our own software. Every individual on the planet operates on his or her own software. The software that we are all operating on resides in our subconscious brain or subconscious mind. And that software is conditioned by all without exceptions, cumulative experiences. I like CE. I just thought of that. That's the best way I can think of it. Your cumulative experiences, if you're 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, etc., etc. As many years have you from birth till the age that you are currently, you have been having experiences, good, bad, indifferent, doesn't matter. You've been having experiences, and those experiences have accumulated over the years to the age that you are now. So that's why I call it cumulative experiences. That is your software. So your software, if you were to be able to purchase my software, your software, it would say on the cover, cumulative experiences. That would be the title, the theme, the name of your software, cumulative experiences. And everyone has their own unique set of cumulative experiences. And there are similarities. I wouldn't say the exceptions, but there are similarities, meaning I and you might have some similar experiences. You and I and you, her, him, her, might have similar her, him. You get what I'm saying? We might have some similar experiences, but there's always the big but, right? But having said that, your experiences, your cumulative experiences are still unique to you. Because though you might have similar, or there might be some similarities, generally speaking, they're unique because we all have our unique, different, distinct experiences in this thing we call life. So that's your software. So we got that out the way, right? Now, cybernetics is the study of, right? It's a scientific approach to where they study it's a transdisciplinary approach, meaning it goes across, it covers various disciplines, but it's a scientific study of the behavior or the control of humans, of machines, and of any living organism or any living thing. So that's cybernetics. It's the study of the control of machines, of animals, and of humans, the interactions between humans, how humans process information, and how they act based off that information. That is, again, very lay definition of cybernetics. You can research it and you'll find more there's more in-depth or greater definitions and meanings for cybernetics. But again, for the sake of simplicity for my audience, so anyone can understand what is cybernetics. It's simply scientific study of the communication, the behavior between animals, humans, and machines, and or machines. So when we say psycho-cybernetics, we're talking about the psychology, studying the control mechanisms of the psychology of a human, of an animal. In this sense, it would be a human or an animal, not a machine. So psycho-cybernetics is the study of the psychological, how to control the psychology of humans and or of animals. Psycho-cybernetics, the scientific study. It's the same concept, the scientific study of the psychology. That's all it means, very simple terms. Scientific study of the human psychology, psycho-cybernetics. It's a scientific study of the control, not just the study of, but the scientific study of the control of the human psychology, of the human cognition. It's a scientific study of human cognition, scientific study of the human cognitive faculties and how to control them. That's psycho-cybernetics. Paradigm shifting or paradigmatic shifting. Paradigm, first of all, let's understand what paradigm is. A paradigm is nothing more or less than a series of thoughts, a series of concepts that have been patternized. I'll say that again. A paradigm is a group of ideas, a group of thoughts, a group of concepts that have formed a pattern. So your paradigm, my paradigm, is a pattern that I think every single day. I have a certain thinking pattern. You and I have a unique thinking pattern. All of us, without exception, all human beings have their own, again, same rule, there will be similarities. But generally speaking, to make a generalization, every human being has a unique thinking pattern, unique ideas, unique concepts, and these are all grouped together. Taken together as a group, they're called a paradigm. So paradigmatic shifting is a change, altering, modifying of these thinking patterns. Being able to change these thinking patterns, alter these thinking patterns, and that would be considered the paradigmatic shift. So now that we have a very general definition or explanation of what cybernetic paradigmatic shifting, now that we have a pretty generic understanding of what this means and software, what it means, the question now is, what does it mean to you? How does it apply to you? And how can it be useful? Because having information without application is fruitless, right? It's pointless. It's moot. So the question is, how do you apply this information? Why is it necessary to understand this information? And how can I parlay this information? How can I exploit this information? And the answer is this: having this information allows you to hack into your own brain, to hack into your own subconscious mind. Because remember, 90% of your behavior is governed by your subconscious thinking. Your subconscious mind is responsible for 90% of your behavior. 90% of the things you do is not governed by the conscious mind, but rather the subconscious mind. Having this information, this knowledge understanding what your software is, right? What are you operating on? Are you Windows 8, Windows 10? Like, what software do you run on, right? Understanding the psycho-cybernetics, understanding the paradigmatic shifting, understanding that allows you to hack into your own brain and to rewire, retrain, perform reconfiguration so that you can get different results into your life. Because everything that shows up into your life, everything without exception, you are responsible for. And I know it's hard to believe, very hard. Oh, it's not my fault I got this parking ticket. Oh, it's not my fault I was doing 25 miles. I mean, I got a speeding ticket and I was in the 25, 35 mile range, whatever, right? There's a lot of things. I can't think of things right now, but use your imagination. There's a lot of things that you don't want to take responsibility for that is in your life. Once you understand how to hack into the subconscious mind, you'll start to understand that you are responsible for everything. Everything that's in your life right now today, the situation you find yourself in, all the situations that you find yourself in, circumstances that you find, what you consider random, you have played a part. Here's where it gets tricky. The role you played is trivialized. It's trivia. The word trivia means a very, very, very insignificant, unimportant, right? The role you played is trivial, it's trivialized, it's trivia. It's of extremely, extremely insignificant. It's extremely unimportant. There's another word that comes to mind, infinitesimal. Means the role you played sometimes, not all the times, but most of the times, the role that you play in the things showing up in your life is infinitesimal, meaning it is of a quanta. It is of a quanta value, so small, minutious, extremely teeny tiny. And this is why you and I will always say it's not our fault, because we're not conscious. We're not aware, because again, subconscious thinking, right, is what governs your behavior, your actions without you even knowing. And your consciousness is only your 10% of your thinking, which is the 10% that you're aware of. But what about the 90% that you're not aware of? And if the 90% is governing your actions, then a lot of your actions, remember now, you go into what's called a feedback, or what's called a chain of cause and effect. So the effects are showing up into your life. Effects mean the results. And because you're operating out of 90% subconscious, that 10% is not aware that 90% is why this is showing up in my life. Why these results, these effects keep coming into my life. The reason why you're not aware of it, because you are not aware of the cause. It's called causality. Okay, yeah, causality. The reason you're not aware, the reason why you don't take the responsibility for the effect, which is the result, is because you're not conscious of the causality, and you, the entity, being the purveyor or the supporter or the culprit of the causality, the cause. And the reason you're not aware of it, because it happens at an infinitesimal, a trivial, very quanta, extremely small role that you're playing. And that role that you're playing is, now we're going to go into physics, is your vibration. Because your whole body is just one big mass of vibration. If you broke me and you down right now, you and I are tiny, infinitesimal, microscopic particles of mass, of matter, and we all vibrate. And I don't want to go into there. I'm not going to do it. I'm tempted to go deep down into the laws of attraction and all these things, but I don't want to go there. So I want to just kind of like stay on the hacking into the brain and reconditioning and reprogramming. Because remember, once you're born into the world, immediately, the Bible says you were born into sin, right? This is Psalms 51. You were born into sin and shapen by iniquity. If you break that down or translate that, or not translate, but just kind of like simplify that into today's language, it means when you were born, you were immediately molded. You know, it says shapen by iniquity. Shapen by iniquity could mean raised, cultivated, nurtured, prepared, designed, conditioned by iniquity. And if you look up the word iniquity, it means unrighteousness, wickedness, sin, all et cetera, all bad stuff. So The minute we're born, we're immediately being molded by all bad stuff. We're being conditioned, formed, fashioned. Our subconscious mind immediately before, because you're not conscious, your conscious mind is not in effect when you come out the womb. You don't, oh, that's a doctor, oh, that's my mom, oh, that's my dad. You don't do that, right? So your subconscious mind is what's aware, is what's functioning, not your conscious mind, not at that infant stage. So immediately your subconscious mind is being programmed, is being conditioned, right? So the thing to understand is now how, as a fully grown, developed organism, adult, how to hack into your subconscious mind and to rewire, restructure, and reconfigure limited beliefs that you hold about yourself, uh, false, totally false images that you hold about yourself, right? Rewire the insecurities that you carry and hold about yourself. Again, I want to state this again because it's very important. Limited beliefs, our limited belief system, right? The frames of reference of terror. I'm gonna say that again. The reference of frames of terror, right? We all hold these fears in doubts, right? We don't even have to call the word fear. We can use the word doubt, because doubt ultimately leads to fear anyway, right? So we hold these doubts about ourselves, these limited beliefs of doubts that limit us from fully expressing ourselves. Because remember, we're genes. That's all we are. We're genes that has been fully expressed. And a gene always expresses itself. That's what you have, dominant and recessive genes, So you want to naturally, without you even trying, you can go to sleep right now and you will still want to naturally express yourself because you're a gene. And it is in the DNA of the gene to express itself. That's without your input. It doesn't take any input from you to want to express yourself, because you're a gene, you were born to express yourself. So, but that genetic expression is being withheld or being subdued and held hostage, bondage, suppressed by those limited beliefs about ourselves, the doubts, the fears, the uncertainties, etc., etc., etc. So the point of this whole conversation is, again, how to hack into the brain, hack into your subconscious mind, where 90% of your actions are governed from, and rewire, hit the reset button, and reconfigure and change those limited beliefs, change those negative self-deprecating, self-destructive thoughts or thinking that we hold about ourselves, right? Rewire and to remove those hurts that we carry, right? We carry past hurts. We're carrying and lugging around with us long past hurts that happened, cumulative experiences. And this is this is the software that we're running on. And this is why we're not getting the best out of our lives, and why we're having the same results so often and repeating the same things so often, because it's a feedback loop. But I'm gonna stop it now because we're at about 18 minutes. I don't want to go too long. I could be here with you guys all night. I'm still a little drowsy. The NyQuil starting to kick in, starting to feel a little weary. All right, till next time. Mark here, cooking books and fighting this flu. Peace.